Padeya from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology in Department of Electronics and Communication. Today we will discuss the subject that is control system design, and in this subject we will discuss our topic that is what example of the lag compensator using the root locus. So in our previous video lecture we discussed the theory, that is which are the different steps that you have to follow while you have to design the lag compensator using the root locus. So today we will see the example based on that theory. So let's start our today's session. See, the example is what? Here we want to design a compensator for an open loop system for g of s that equal to k upon s plus 2, such that the value of zeta, that is what is the damping ratio that is given to us 1 upon root 2, and ts is what? As a settling time that is less than or equal to 4 seconds, and ess, that is what is a steady state error, and that equal to what? 0.25. So here we want to design a compensator to meet this following requirement. So what is the first step? You just recall the theory, that is how we can design the lag compensator. Then our first step is what? To draw the uncompensated root locus. Whether you are designing the phase lead compensator or lag compensator, always the first step is what? To draw the uncompensated root locus. So for that what we require? We require the poles and zero. So first step is to find out the poles and zero. So here the number of poles, that is denominator, that equal to 0. If I take s plus 2 that equal to 0, then the value of s, that is 0 and minus 2. So here I have a 2 pole, that's why the value of n that equal to what? It's a 2. Now that is n. M is what? It's a number of zeros. But as such, we do not have any term that is related to s in our numerator. So here the value of m that equal to 0. That says that as such we do not have any 0 in our transfer function. Now the next step is what? We need to find out the centroid. And for that the equation is what? It's a sigma c that equal to summation of real part of poles minus summation of real part of zeros divided by what? It's n minus n. And we know that we have a 2 pole. One is at the 0, another is at the minus 2, and both the pole are what is the real. If we have any complex number, then we have to just consider the real part of that complex number. So here the sigma c, that is 0 and minus 2. And we do not have any 0. That's why we are not writing that part. Divided by n minus n. So the value of n that equal to 2 and the value of m that equal to 0. So 2 minus 0 that equal to 2. So here minus 2 divided by minus 2. So that equal to what? It's a minus 1. This is what is the centroid. Now what we require? We require the angle of asymptote. So for that the equation is what? Theta k that equal to 2k plus 1 into 180 degree divided by n minus m, and the value of k that is vary from 0, 1, 2, 3 to n minus 1. Now here put the value of n, that is 2. M is what? It's a 0. So 2 minus 0 minus 1, that equal to what? It's a 1. So we will start the value of k from 0 and we will end at the 1, because n minus m minus 1, that equal to what? It's a 1. Alright. So we will get the 2 angle, and we know that. See, whatever it is, whatever the transfer function is given to us, in that we require the number of the poles that equal to the number of zeros. If that condition is not satisfied, here we have a 2 pole, but as such we do not have any 0. That's why we are getting 2 direction. For example, if my transfer function is 1 upon s plus 1, s plus 2. So I have a 3 pole, but as such I do not have any 0. So here I get the 3 different direction. Alright. And if I have a 2 pole and 2 0, then we will not get any value of that is angle of asymptote. So here, first of all, we will substitute k equal to 0. So what we will get? Theta 0. If we substitute 0, then 180 divided by 2, that is equal to 90. Now substitute k equal to 1. So what we will get? That is 270. So here we have two angles. One is 90, another is 270. And that we have to draw from the centroid, that is at the -1. Now next step is what? It's a breakaway point. Now for the breakaway point, equation is what? It's a differentiation of the k with respect to s. And we have to equate that with the 0. Now to find out the dk by ds, first of all what we require? We require the characteristic equation. And characteristic equation, that is what? It's a 1 plus g of s into h of s, that equal to what? It's a 0. Now we know what is the value of g of s? That is k upon s plus 2. And h of s, because this system is for unity feedback control system. So we are taking h of s equal to 1. See, if it is not specified in the question and h of s is not given to you, then after you have to consider h of s that equal to 1. Now you just substitute this value like this. Now take the LCM. So s plus 2 plus k, that equal to 0. Now we want to find out the dk by ds. So what we require? We require the value of k. So k, that equal to minus s square plus 2s. Now take the differentiation with respect to s. So dk by ds, that equal to minus 2s plus 2, that equal to 0. Now 2s plus 2, that equal to 0. So the 2, take the 2 common, then s plus 1, that equal to 0. So here the value of s, that is what? It's a minus 1. Okay. Now next, what I'm just writing the whatever we get, that is the number of poles, then sigma c, then theta k, and then breakaway point. Here see, no need to find out the intersection point with the j omega axis. Why? Because my angle of asymptotes are what? It's a 90 and 270. If your angle of asymptote is less than 90 degree, then and then you have to find out the intersection point with the imaginary axis. And the last point, that is what? It's an angle of departure. And that you have to find out whenever you have a complex pole in our network. Right now we have a simple pole, that is at 0 and -2. So this is all about the uncompensated root locus. Now just draw all the points on this graph paper. First you just mark the imaginary axis and real axis. These are the numbers. Then this is my real axis. Now mark the pole. One is at the 0, another is at a -2. Now mark the centroid, that is at -1. Now from -1 we have to make a two angle. One is 90, another is 270. That is a straight line. Then here you just see the part of the real axis, that is lie only by root locus. So how we can calculate? You just see, consider this my 0 pole. Okay, after that, if you move after this, then this side you have a 1 pole. That is the addition of poles in 0. That is what is an odd number. So that means that part is on my root locus till -2. Now after -2, this side we have a 2 pole. And 2 is what? Is an even number. So that part will not lie on my root locus. So the part of the root locus, that is part of the real axis, that is on my root locus, that is in between 0 to -2. So here the valid breakaway point is what? It's a -2. Now here this is the angle. From -1, one is 90, another is what? It's a 270. And this is what? uncompensated root locus, because see, root locus will start with the origin. It will cut the breakaway point -1 and it will go up direction, that is towards the 90, or down direction, that is towards the 270, and same way for this -2. So this is all about the uncompensated root locus. Now next, we have to find out the desired location of closed loop pole. Because see, now you want to design the compensator. Now it can be lead or it can be lag compensator. And how we will decide it? That is based on the location of SD. Okay. So anyhow, you have to find out this step. That is step number 2. 1 and 2 is compulsory for all type of the designing problem. That is lead or lag. Now the equation of the SD is what? Is SD that equal to minus zeta omega n plus or minus under root of 1 minus zeta square omega nj. Now you know very well, value of zeta is given to us, but we do not have the value of omega n. So for that, we have the value of Ts. Right. So what is the value of equation for the Ts? That is 4 upon zeta omega n. Now you just substitute this value of zeta in this equation. So you will get the value of omega n, that equal to 1.41 radian per second. Now you just substitute all this value in the equation. So when we solve this, then we will get the value of SD, that is at -1 plus or minus 1G. Now we have to mark this point on our this graph paper. Already we have this uncompensated root locus. Now mark this point. That is real is what? Real part is -1. Imaginary part is 1 times plus j. Then it's a minus j. That means here. So from this graph, we can clearly see that SD is on my uncompensated root locus. Whenever you have a SD on your uncompensated root locus, that means you have to design the lag compensator. Okay, if your SD is not on your uncompensated root locus, then that problem is for the lead compensator. Remember this point. Now, see, from the graph, uncompensated root locus is passed from the SD. Therefore, the transient response specification are specified. Here, please consider it is passed from the SD. Therefore, the transient response are specified and phi p that equal to 0. So this problem is for the lag compensation. Now here we have to find out the uncompensated gain, and the equation is what? Is the product of vector length from SD to pole divided by the product of vector length from 0 to SD. Alright. And product length, whenever you have a vector length, that means you have to measure that length with help of the scale. So first of all, you have to draw a one line from SD to 0 and SD to -2, like this. And measure this distance with help of the scale. Right now it's 1.4 centimeter. Then another line you have to draw from SD to -2, and that distance is same, that is 1.4 centimeter. And we do not have any 0. So here, if you substitute this there, then KUC, that is for the uncompensated. 1.4 into 1.4, that is 1.96, that we can approximate that equal to what? This is 2. So this is what is an uncompensated system gain. Now next step, error constant. This is what is a type 1 system because it's a 1 upon S plus 2. So equation for the KV UC SD, that equal to what? Is S tends to 0, S into G of S. Now substitute this value of G of S, K upon S plus 2. Now S cancel. And if you substitute S equal to 0 and K equal to what? Is a K UC SD. So this is 2 divided by 2. So here we will get the KB, that is the error velocity constant of uncompensated system at the point of SD, that equal to 1. Now next step is what? Whatever the KB required. Sometimes what will happen, directly value of KB, that error constant will given to you. Otherwise the value of ESS will given to you. In this equation, we have the value of ESS. From the value of ESS, we can easily find out the KB required. So that is what? It's a 1 upon 0.25 and that equal to what? It's a 4. Now the value of beta, that equal to KB required upon KB using ST. Now substitute this value. So here what you have? That is 4 divided by 1, that equal to 4. And as you remember, see, we discussed that in our theory part, that is whatever the value of beta that you will get, you have to take the higher value of that. So here if beta equal to 4, we will take the higher, that is what? It's a 5. So we will take the value of beta, that is 5. If our value of beta is between 1 to 4, we will take it 5. If it is between 6 to 9, then we will take it 10. Now step number 6. We have to draw the angle for the Z, and that is what is less than 10 degree, if you remember that we have discussed. So here less than 10, that means you can take any 5, 4, 3, 2. Here I am just taking 6. That is alright. You can take any angle, but that should be less than 10 degree. With the SD as the center and zeta line as a reference line. Please remember this thing. So in this graph, first of all, we have to draw one zeta line, a line that connects between origin to S3. That line is known as a zeta line. Now you have to put your protector on this zeta line, and the center of that protector is what? Is a SD, and make the angle that is 6 degree like this, and you just extend that line. Whenever that line intersects on my real axis, that point is what? It's a 0. Here that is phi z is less than 6 degree and the point is what? It's a 0.25. Now PC, how you will get the value of PC? That is with help of the one equation, that is ZC divided by what? It's a beta. So minus 0.25 divided by 5, that equal to minus 0.05. Now see, this is my compensated system. That means I have to multiply G of S with the GC of S. 0 that is at 0.25 and 4 is at 0.05. Now I need to check whether this system has made that requirement that is given in the question or not. So first of all, we have to find out the K. But see, that we are finding in the lead compensator. Here your pole and 0 are very near to each other. So your uncompensated gain, that is almost equal to your compensated gain. Why? Because see, your pole is at 0.25 and your pole is at 0.05 and your 0 is at 0.25. So these two are very near to each other. That's why the gain of the compensated system is almost equal to the gain of the uncompensated system. So that is equal to 2. Right? So you just substitute the K equal to what? It's a 2. Now we will find out the KV, compensated thing. That is S tends to 0 as into G of S. Now you just substitute the value of this and put S equal to 0, and when you solve this you will get the 5. So here KV, see, SD, that is greater than your KV required. If you remember how we have find out the KV required, that is 1 upon ESS. So here it is 5 and my KV required is what? It's a 4. That means whatever the design I have done, that is correct. Because my KVC of the compensated system, that is greater than my KV required. Alright. So here what you have to do? First of all, you have to draw the uncompensated system. Then you have to find out the gain of the uncompensated system. that is vector length. Then you have to find out the kV required. Okay, that is 1 upon ESS. Okay. Then after, what you have to do? You have to draw a one phi z line that is less than 10 degree. Then you will get a 1 0 and pole using the equation that is Zc by beta. And then you have to perform all this calculation. So I hope this question is clear. Okay. Simply we just put this. This is our answer. Thank you.